is where manifestation occurs. In the Gateway Protocol, this is called patterning, the deliberate use of expanded consciousness to influence future outcomes. Stated that consciousness can be trained to escape the restrictions of time and space. And then the document was classified for 20 years. No one outside the intelligence community knew this assessment existed. Let me show you what they discovered and why it was considered too significant to share. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. And today we will discuss the manifestation technique that was classified. Now, before we begin, I want to invite you to join the Reality Revolution community at school.com, skool.com/Reality Revolution. We have now created a vibrant, amazing community of people where you can access exclusive content from my channel with training programs, as well as networking events, masterminds, and weekly group coaching sessions. I hope to see you there and help you on your manifestation journey. In 1983, a document was created that would have changed everything. It was commissioned by the Central Intelligence Agency, written by a U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel with a background in intelligence based on years of research at Stanford Research Institute, one of the most prestigious scientific institutions in America. The document described a technique, a specific trainable protocol for expanding human consciousness beyond the limits of the physical body, for accessing information across time and space, for influencing physical reality through focused intention. And then it was classified, stamped secret, filed away, hidden from the public for 2 decades. Ask yourself, why would the government classify a technique for expanding consciousness? Why would military intelligence spend millions of dollars researching something and then hide what they found? The answer is simple: because it worked. The research produced results that were too significant to ignore and too dangerous to share. Not dangerous because the technique was harmful, dangerous because of what it proved about the nature of reality and human potential. That's a direct quote from the classified document. The US government developed a training system for moving consciousness outside the physical body, and they classified it. In 2003, the document was declassified. It's now available to anyone through the CIA's public reading room. You can download it yourself. I've even read it on my channel, but almost no one knows it exists. The mainstream media never covered it. The scientific establishment pretends it was never written. It's one of the most significant documents in human history, and it's been buried in plain sight until now. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through exactly what the government discovered. I'm going to explain the technique they developed, step by step, in full detail, and then I'm going to guide you through the experience itself, using the exact protocol that military intelligence personnel were trained in. It's not speculation. This isn't spiritual theory. It's declassified government research. The technique is real, it works, and now it's yours. It began in 1972. The Cold War was at the height. U.S. intelligence agencies received reports that the Soviet Union was investing heavily in psychic research. Programs designed to develop remote viewing, psychokinesis, and other consciousness-based capabilities for military intelligence. The CIA's response was to fund their own research. They approached Stanford Research Institute, SRI, a prestigious independent research facility in California. 2 physicists were put in charge, Russell Targ and Hal Puthoff. Both had impeccable scientific credentials. Both approached the research with rigorous skepticism. And both were about to have their worldview completely shattered. The initial experiments focused on remote viewing, the ability to perceive locations, objects, or events at a distance without using the normal senses. Test subjects were given coordinates of seeded envelopes and asked to describe what was at those locations. The results were statistically impossible to explain by chance. By 1978, the research had proven successful enough that it moved from pure research to operational use. The program was codenamed various things over the years: Gondola Wish, Grill Flame, Center Lane, Sunstreak, most famously, Project Stargate. Military intelligence began using trained remote viewers for actual operations, locating hostages, identifying the contents of buildings in foreign countries, tracking the movements of foreign assets, finding downed aircraft. The program ran for over 20 years, which tells you something important. Government programs that don't produce results don't get funded for 2 decades. But a remote viewing was only part of what they discovered. As the research deepened, the scientists and intelligence personnel began to realize they'd stumbled onto something far more significant than a spy technique. They had found a doorway into the fundamental nature of consciousness and reality. Parallel to the remote viewing research, another program was developing. It was called the Gateway Process, and it would produce the classified document that this episode is based on. The Gateway Process was developed at the Monroe Institute in Virginia, founded by Robert Monroe, a radio broadcasting executive who had spontaneous out-of-body experiences in 1958, and spent the next 40 years scientifically researching them. Monroe developed a technique using specific sound frequencies to synchronize brainwave patterns across both hemispheres of the brain. He called it hemisync. The U.S. Army became interested. They sent Lieutenant Colonel Wayne McDonnell to investigate whether the Gateway technique could be used for military applications. What McDonnell discovered prompted him to write a 29-page classified report that synthesized quantum physics, neuroscience, and Eastern mysticism into a unified explanation of how consciousness works and how it can be trained to transcend ordinary limits. Now read that again. Fundamentally, the Gateway experience is a training system designed to bring enhanced strength, focus, and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output between left and right hemispheres so as to alter consciousness, moving it outside the physical sphere so as to ultimately escape even the restrictions of time and space. Lieutenant Wayne McDonnell, CIA Gateway Process Report. A U.S. Army intelligence officer in an official report to the CIA stated that consciousness can be trained to escape the restrictions of time and space. And then the document was classified for 20 years. No one outside the intelligence community knew this assessment existed. Let me show you what they discovered and why it was considered too significant to share. The Gateway Process report begins with a startling foundation. Lieutenant Colonel McDowell, drawing on quantum physics and the work of physicist David Bohm, describes reality not as solid matter but as a hologram, an interference pattern of energy and information. This isn't mysticism. This is a U.S. military intelligence officer summarizing established physics. The chair you're sitting in, the device you're watching this on, your own body, all of it is oscillating energy. What appears solid is actually vibrating patterns in a field of energy. And here's where it gets interesting. It really is a holographic pattern of energy. Then consciousness, which is also energy, can interact with that pattern, can read it, can influence it, can move through it in ways that seem impossible from a materialist perspective, but are perfectly consistent with physics. It wasn't classified because it was false. The research was rigorous, the results were documented, and the technique demonstrably worked. It wasn't classified because it was dangerous. The technique has no harmful side effects and has been safely used by thousands of people. It was classified for two reasons. First, military advantage. If U.S. intelligence personnel could access information remotely, could perceive targets without physical presence, could potentially influence events at a distance, that capability was too valuable to share, especially during the Cold War, especially when the Soviets were developing their own programs. But there was a second reason, one that's never been officially acknowledged. The technique proved something that the materialist paradigm cannot accept, that consciousness is fundamental, that mind is not a product of brain but a field that the brain accesses, that the physical world is downstream from consciousness, not the other way around. Imagine if this became mainstream knowledge. Imagine if everyone understood that their consciousness can access information anywhere in time and space, that their focused intention can influence physical reality, that the entire materialist worldview, which underlies modern medicine, economics, education, and governance, is fundamentally incomplete. That's why it was classified, not because the technique doesn't work, because it does. Now, let me show you exactly how to do it. The technique I'm about to share is a synthesis of what the government programs developed. It combines elements from the Gateway process, the Stanford Research Institute protocols, and insights from the declassified documents. There are 6 steps. Each builds on the previous. Together they create a progressive deepening of consciousness that moves you from ordinary waking awareness into states where information, access, and reality influence becomes possible. I'll explain each step in detail, then guide you through the complete experience. Pay attention to the explanations, understanding why each step works, makes the practice more effective. The first step is directly from the Gateway Process Protocol. It's called the Energy Conversion Box, and it's a technique for clearing mental and emotional interference before deeper work begins. Here's the problem. Your consciousness is constantly processing fears, worries, distractions, plans, and unresolved emotions. This mental noise creates static that blocks access to expanded states. You can't tune into a subtle signal when your receiver is full of interference. The solution: you visualize a container, a box, a chest, or any enclosed space, and you deliberately place all your concerns inside it, not to suppress them or pretend they don't exist, just to set them aside temporarily. You're telling your psyche, these will be here when I return. Right now, I'm doing something that requires clear bandwidth. This isn't just psychological, it's energetic. Those worries and fears are actual patterns in consciousness consuming processing power. When you deliberately contain them, you free up the energy to other uses. The technique has been shown to significantly reduce the time needed to reach deeper states. The second step activates and amplifies your energy body. In the Gateway Protocol, this is called Resonant tuning, a breathing technique combined with vocalization that builds coherent energy in your system. The practice: you breathe deeply, and on each exhale, you make a low humming or toning sound. The vibration resonates through your body, particularly in the chest and head. With each breath cycle, you visualize energy building, entering on the inhale, amplifying on the exhale. Why does this work? Several mechanisms. The deep breathing increases oxygen and shifts brainwave patterns toward alpha. The vocalization creates actual physical vibration that the body responds to. The visualization directs attention inward and begins to activate the energy body, and the repetition creates a rhythmic entrainment that quiets mental chatter. Think of it as tuning an instrument. Before you can play music, the strings need to be at the right tension. The body needs to resonate properly. This step tunes your instrument, your consciousness, to the frequency needed for deeper work. The third step is the progressive deepening of consciousness through what the Gateway process calls focus levels. These are specific states of consciousness, each with its own characteristics, accessed in sequence. Focus 10 is the first level: mind awake, body asleep. Your body is completely relaxed, essentially in the state it enters during sleep, but your mind remains alert and aware. The dissociation of mind from body is the foundation for all deeper work. Focus 12 is the next level: expanded awareness. At this state, you begin to sense beyond the physical. Intuition sharpens. Information that you couldn't access in normal consciousness becomes available. Many remote viewing protocols operate from Focus 12. Focus 15 goes deeper still, the state of no time. At this level, the experience of linear time dissolves. Past, present, and future become accessible as locations rather than fixed sequences. This is where timeline work, future viewing, and past life access becomes possible. These are trainable states with specific neurological correlates, and the technique for reaching them is simply progressive relaxation combined with focused intention, supported by the hemispheric synchronization of the audio frequencies. The fourth step creates what the Gateway process calls the reball, the resonant energy balloon. This is an energy field that you deliberately construct around yourself, serving multiple purposes. First, it creates a defined boundary between your consciousness and external influences. When you're in expanded states, your awareness is more open and more sensitive. The reball maintains your integrity, a container for your consciousness as it explores beyond ordinary limits. Second, it concentrates and amplifies your energy like a lens focusing light. The reball focuses your consciousness, making your intentions more coherent. and more powerful. The technique: you visualize energy spiraling around your body, up from the earth below you, down from the space above you, meeting and merging to form a complete sphere of luminous energy surrounding you in all directions. You then reinforce this sphere with your intention, making it as real in your inner experience as your physical body. This isn't imagination. With practice, you actually feel the energy field, a tangible sense of boundary and presence surrounding your body. The reball becomes a consistent feature of your expanded state work. The fifth step is where manifestation occurs. In the Gateway Protocol, this is called patterning, the deliberate use of expanded consciousness to influence future outcomes. Here's the mechanism. When you're in a coherent, expanded state of consciousness, when your brain hemispheres are synchronized and your awareness has extended beyond the physical, you have access to the holographic field that underlies all reality. And in that field, you can introduce patterns. The technique: from the expanded state, you construct a complete, vivid, multi-sensory experience of your desired outcome as if it has already occurred. You don't hope for it or visualize it happening in the future. You experience it as present reality. You make it as real as your current physical experience, because at the holographic level, it is as real. The key is that this patterning is done from an expanded state where your consciousness is more coherent and more connected to the universal field. Ordinary visualization operates at a surface level. Patterning from focus 12 or focus 15 operates at the level where reality is actually structured. The sixth step is the deliberate return to ordinary consciousness. This isn't just waking up. It's a structured transition that anchors the work you've done and maintains the connection to the expanded states you've accessed. The technique involves counting up through the focus levels, progressively reactivating the body, bringing the expanded awareness back into integration with physical reality. The key is to return feeling more energized, more coherent, more connected, not depleted or disoriented. With practice, you maintain a thread of connection to the expanded states, even in ordinary waking consciousness. The boundary between normal and expanded becomes more permeable. The insights and capabilities become more accessible without needing to do the full protocol. These are the 6 steps of the classified technique. Now, let's experience them directly. Let yourself settle now. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you can. Let the outer world begin to fade. In your mind's eye, create a container. Any container that feels right, a chest, a box, a safe, a vessel. See it clearly, notice its color, its texture, its size. This is your energy conversion box. It will hold everything that doesn't serve you during this experience. Now begin placing things inside. Any worries you're carrying, any fears, any incomplete tasks that are pulling at your attention, any relationships that need resolution, any physical discomforts, one by one, acknowledge them and place them in the box. You're not rejecting these things. You're not pretending they don't exist. You're simply setting them aside temporarily. They'll be here when you return. For now, you need clear bandwidth. When everything is inside, close the lid. Watch it seal. Feel the relief of having set these things down. Your consciousness is now cleared, ready for deeper work. Now we tune your instrument. Begin to breathe deeply, in through the nose, filling the belly first, then the chest. full, complete breath. And on the exhale, make a low humming sound. Let the vibration resonate through your chest, your throat, your head. Feel your whole body becoming a resonant chamber. With each inhale, visualize energy entering, pure, luminous, energy flowing in. With the breath, with each exhale, feel that energy amplifying, spreading through your body, building in intensity. Continue this pattern. Breathe in energy, exhale with vibration. Each cycle builds on the last. You're charging your consciousness, tuning your frequency, preparing for expansion. Your body's becoming more alive, more vibrant, more coherent. The static of ordinary consciousness is being replaced with a clear and strong signal. Do this for a few more moments. Now begin the descent into deeper states. Continue breathing normally. Let each breath carry you deeper. Moving toward focus 10, mind awake, body asleep. Feel your body relaxing completely. Starting at your feet, letting go. Your legs releasing all tension. Your torso softening, settling. Your arms, your hands completely relaxed. Your neck, your face, your scalp all releasing. Your body is becoming very distant now, very quiet, almost as if it's asleep. But your mind remains completely alert, awake, aware. This is focus 10, mind awake, body asleep. Now go deeper beyond focus 10, moving toward focus 12, expanded awareness. Feel your consciousness beginning to expand beyond the boundaries of your body. You're not leaving your body, you're becoming more than your body. Awareness opening in all directions, sensing beyond the physical, intuition activating, the subtle dimensions becoming perceptible. This is focus 12, expanded awareness. And now if you're ready, go deeper still, moving toward focus 15, the state of no time. Feel linear time begin to dissolve. Past, present, and future are not separate here. All accessible, all present, all now. In focus 15, you can access any point in time-space. The holographic universe is open to you. This is where the remote viewers worked. This is where reality can be perceived and influenced at the source. Now, create your resonant energy balloon. Feel the energy spiraling up from beneath you, from the earth, from the collective field, from the source below. Feel it rising, circling your body, moving upward. Simultaneously, feel energy descending from above, from the cosmos, from the infinite, from the source above. Feel it flowing down, circling your body, moving downward. These two spirals meet at your center, and merge, forming a complete sphere of luminous energy around you. This is your resonant energy balloon, your container, your amplifier, your protection as you work in expanded states. Feel the boundary of this sphere. It's as real as your skin. It defines your space. It concentrates your power. You're now operating from within a coherent field of focused consciousness. Now comes the patterning from this expanded state. Focus 15, no time within your reball. You have access to the holographic field where reality is structured, and you can introduce a pattern. Bring to mind what you want to manifest, not as a wish, as a completed reality, something that has already happened, something you're now experiencing. Create the scene. Where are you? What do you see? What do you hear? What are you touching? What does your body feel like in this reality? What emotions are present? Make it complete. Make it vivid. Make it as real as any memory you have. This isn't imagination. At the level of consciousness, what you're creating is a pattern in the holographic field, a template that reality will organize around, an instruction set for manifestation. Hold this pattern. Let it stabilize. Let it become as real to you as anything you've ever experienced. This is the patterning that was used in classified programs. This is the technique that was hidden, and you're doing it now. Let the pattern complete itself. Let it lock into place. Let it become part of the holographic field, waiting to unfold into physical reality. Now begin the return. Slowly, gently, bring your awareness back toward ordinary consciousness, but not losing what you've experienced. Bring it with you. Rising from focus 15 through focus 12 back to focus 10, feeling your body again, your hands, your feet, the weight of your body, the breath moving. Releasing the formal, resonant balloon, but knowing you can construct it any time. Return to ordinary awareness, but carrying a thread of connection to the expanded states. Coming fully back now, the body awake, your mind is clear, present in the room, in this moment, in this life. But you've changed, you've experienced the technique that was classified. You've accessed states of consciousness that military intelligence personnel were trained in. You've patterned reality from the holographic level. Take a breath. Feel yourself fully returned. The technique is now yours. You just experienced a technique that was classified by the US government, a technique developed by serious students at serious institutions, tested under rigorous conditions, and deemed significant enough to hide from the public for 2 decades. Think about what that means. It means the government knows consciousness is more powerful than they've told you. It means there's documented, verifiable evidence that awareness can extend beyond the physical body, access information remotely, and influence physical reality. It means the materialist paradigm that dominates our culture is officially documentally incomplete. The CIA concluded that expanded consciousness is plausible. Not metaphysical speculation, physical science parameters. And then they classified the finding. But here's what matters now. It's declassified. The technique is available. You have access to the same training that intelligence personnel received. The question is what you'll do without it. The technique you just learned gets more powerful with practice. The remote viewers at Stanford Research Institute trained for months before they became consistently accurate. The gateway process participants often attended multiple residential programs. This isn't a one-time experience, it's a training system. Practice the 6 steps regularly, daily if possible. Each time, the descent into deeper states becomes easier. The resonant balloon becomes more tangible. The patterning becomes more vivid. The access to the holographic field becomes more natural. Start with simple targets. Pattern small things first. Build your confidence and your skill. The technology of consciousness, like any technology, requires training to use effectively, but the training is available. The technique works and the results are documented. You're now part of a small but growing group of people who know what the government discovered and chose to use it for their own development. Every time you practice, you're developing capabilities that most people don't know are possible. The classification has been lifted. The technique has been made available. What was reserved for intelligence personnel and military operatives is now available to you. It is in your hands. Use it, practice it, master it, discover for yourself what the government discovered. That consciousness is far more powerful than you've been told. That reality responds to focused intention. That you are not limited to the physical body or the present moment. The manifestation technique that was classified is classified no more. It's yours now. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.